Hello, hello. Welcome to Sovereign Alchemy, the podcast for the women who are ready to manifest a life full of abundance and all that they desire without the hustle and without the burnout. I'm your host, Mary Jo Rumber, life and mindset coach, here to help you build confidence, stop doubting yourself, and finally take the action that your soul is craving. In today's episode, I'm going to be sharing with you how to stop being scared and being afraid to be seen online. This is something I experienced for so long. It's actually one of the things that kept me from showing up in my business and being able to serve in the way that I wanted to and help the women that I wanted to help. So if you have an online business or an online presence and you are wanting to stop feeling scared of what other people are going to think, stop feeling like your family is judging you or that the people you work with are judging you or whatever it may be, and get out of your head and into action and start manifesting whatever it is that you came into this online space to create, and actually do the thing. Because when we show up online and we come into it with the energy of, oh my gosh, what are people going to think? People are going to feel that in your presence. But when you show up online and you're like, how can I serve? How can I help others? People are going to be attracted and feel like they are magnetized to what you have to say, and they will listen and tune in. So that's what we're going to be talking about in today's episode. How to stop being afraid. Before we dive in though, quick announcement. Magnetic, my 6-month one-on-one coaching mentorship, is going to be closing August 23rd. Now, what I want to do, because because what I did is I meant to post this on Wednesday and I didn't. It didn't happen. And I was like, "Oh my gosh, I didn't get my podcast out." My brain was doing the brain thing. And I was like, "You know what? That's okay. I'm going to post my podcast anyways." And those of you, this is just exclusively to those of you who are listening to this podcast episode. The doors are not going to close until August 25th. So you have a little bit of extra time to join Magnetic before it closes. Magnetic is my program for the women who want it all. They want to stop doubting themselves. They want to stop beating themselves up for not being where they want to be yet, and finally step into attracting what they want without the hustle. Basically, everything I teach is inside of this program so that you can step into your power and feel confident and learn the magnetic mindset formula that's really going to help you step into your power and stop listening to every single thought that comes your way and get to choose which thoughts that you want to take with you that are actually going to support you on your journey. We're also going to be deep diving into your astrology and human design so that you're not just creating results based on what everyone else says you should be doing, based on what you crave and what your soul desires. So we're going to be tapping into self-trust and authenticity and how you can actually create whatever it is that you're wanting to create with your own set of rules. So often I see so many people start a program and then it's working for a while, and all of a sudden crash and burn because it's not designed for you. And your soul is always going to speak up when it's not meant for you. Your soul is so good at speaking to you, but sometimes what we do is we make meaning of that, right? So when you crash and burn, what you're doing is making meaning of it, that you're not capable, that you're not worthy. And so instead of just going, oh, my soul is telling me something, I just need to tune in and listen, you make meaning, and then you give up or burn out, or you feel like you get back into the forceful energy of I've got to make this happen, and we get back into the mental drama. And so this is what this program is going to teach you. It's going to help you build that unshakable confidence that you're able to show up, stop worrying what other people think, and actually reach the goals without feeling like it's something, right? Have you heard the saying that how you get there is how you stay there? If you feel like you have to hustle to get there, that's how you're going to have to stay there. And I don't want you to feel that way anymore. I want you to create sustainable results that last a long time. When you do that, your goals become fun. They become a part of the journey, and you start to have fun in your everyday life instead of feeling like you're on this constant hamster wheel. So that's what I'm going to be teaching in Magnetic. You have till August 25th. And that's exclusively to those of you who are on the podcast listening. August 25th. Everywhere else, it's going to be August 23rd. So, okay, I love you guys so much. Thank you for tuning in. I just want to take a quick little moment to say thank you to all of the followers on here. I've recognized over the last couple of months, I really haven't been consistent, yet my following on the podcast is growing and people are still listening. And that just reminds me, like, I'm meant to be here. I've been questioning whether I want to stay consistent with my podcast because Instagram is working so well to create clients and really fulfill the purpose of this business. And yet at the same time, the universe keeps showing me that you guys are still here listening. So I just want to say thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Thank you for seeing the value in this work and taking the time to listen so that you can better your life. One of the things that I truly believe in is the law of divine oneness. Every time you show up to better yourself, you are then going to respond to life differently. And that's going to impact everyone around you. And then that's going to impact everyone around them. So it is a constant ripple effect through life. So every time you show up to take care of yourself, every time you show up to listen to personal development and then take that and implement it into your life, other people's lives are also changing around you. So remember that. You're doing so amazing. Let's tune in. Let's talk about how to stop being afraid of being seen. The first thing I want you to understand is that oftentimes your fear of being seen is typically your brain being scared of being perceived and being judged. I'm taking a drink here. Just one second. This is natural. Being scared of being perceived and being judged is so natural. This is our brain just doing the brain thing. We're truly wired for survival. And so because here's the thing, our primal brain, which is basically running the show, right? Our subconscious mind that was developed over millions of years is running the show, and it was wired for survival. We've been really big into history lately, American history specifically, and we've been listening to a lot of podcasts, listening to things like Billy the Kid and Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, and a couple other things like Daniel Boone, Davy Crockett, all of these stories in history, and just looking at the lifestyle these people had to go through, and basically, you know, their lives were being threatened every single day. They were running out of food. They were fear of their family getting, you know, taken by some sort of sickness, or like venturing out too far in the wilderness and getting taken, or tripping over a stick, or eating something that they're not supposed to. Like, so many crazy things for them back then. And when we look at some of these westerns, as far as like the old Wild West, and how people would literally just carry their guns out on the streets, yeah, we lived in survival up until like the last couple hundred years. This is new to us, to be in an environment where we no longer have to be scared of our lives being threatened every single day. Yet we go to work and somebody says something that triggers us, and our brain takes that perceived threat and thinks it's a physical threat. That's what's happening. It feels like you're not being supported, and that's why we're afraid of being judged, because we had to stick with our clan. We had to stick with our group of people to stay protected. And so, of course, we're afraid of being judged, because if not, we get pushed out, right? But nowadays, it's so cool to be the black sheep. We want to be the black sheep, because no longer are we fighting for our survival. We're fighting Well, I don't know if you want to fight for it, but I kind of do. And fighting not in a hustle mentality, but fighting for our goals and dreams. And how cool is it that we live in today's society where we don't have to worry about our survival? Unless we're driving while texting, of course. That's something I really need to get better at working on. My son reminds me, he's like, "Mom, don't text and drive." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, thank you so much for reminding me. You're so amazing." This is something I'm going to work on because I love my family and I love my life, and I haven't fulfilled all that I want to fulfill yet. So I need to be safe because my goal is to help so many more women. So I'm going to be safe while I'm driving. And I still have a lot of life left to live. I know that I have the next life because I'm one of those people that believes I have the next life. But also, why wait to learn that lesson in the next life when I can be a millionaire in the next life and then a billionaire in the next life because I've learned all the lessons now? Okay, I may or may not be rambling, and I'm just gonna, I'm gonna say that that's the universe speaking through me here. Okay, so the first thing to understand is that if you are afraid of being seen online, it's very possible that you are afraid of being judged, and that is normal. We don't need to make meaning of anything other than it's just normal for our brains to respond that way. That is what it is, and we have to understand it. That's all. That's step number one, is understanding that this is natural. Our brain's just wired for survival. That's it. That's all. And this is why inside of my program, Magnetic, I teach you the magnetic mindset formula. And this is where things shift for you. This is where your brain starts operating from urgency, from I need to be safe, I need to be safe, from survival, and starts operating with your soul and training it that you're safe. Training it that you are safe to move forward and take action on your goals and dreams. And that's why you want to apply for Magnetic, is because this formula will absolutely change your life. It's going to shift how you want to show up. Because when you look at life from a different lens, you're going to show up differently. And the results that you get are going to be different. Okay, the next thing that you really need to understand is that this fear of judgment is actually just you having a fear of rejection. Rejection is normal. When you show up for goals and dreams, you are going to get rejected. Some of the programs that you use in the first few months of, maybe working on your health and fitness might not work. Some of the people that are going to come into your online space and want to work with you might be like, "No, not this time. Sorry, I'm not interested." You might have somebody go all the way to a consult call and then tell you no. And our brains will do a really damn good job at protecting ourselves from rejection because of the way it feels to feel embarrassed. Our brains think that embarrassment means that we're being shunned from the group, like we just talked about. It is normal. And it's also important, and this is the next step, is building your rejection resilience. And how you do this is you celebrate the rejection. You see it as courage instead of failure, and making it mean that there is something wrong with you, because that's what happens. So I'm going to recap here. We have this fear of being seen. And what that really means is that we're afraid of being judged. And what that really means is that we're afraid of being rejected. And what that does is we make meaning that if we are rejected, there is something wrong with us. And if there's something wrong with us, I am not worthy and deserving of these goals and dreams. And therefore, I'm going to give up because, oh my gosh, the hustle and burnout from the mental drama is not worth it. And I will tell you this right here. Hustle and burnout comes from the mental drama. It doesn't come from the actions you take. It comes from the mental game, because the thoughts that we think create the way that we feel, and the way that we feel then translates into how we show up. Because if I'm thinking, what are people going to think of me when I create content online, and then I create content from that energy, that is going to create an absolutely different result than I am so excited to show up and share this wisdom that is going to change somebody's life. People will feel that, and it will be so much more magnetic than the person who shows up with, what are they thinking of me? I'm so afraid of being judged. We don't want to show up that way. We want to show up in service, in love, in, oh my gosh, I'm living out my dreams. I'm so proud of myself. I'm doing something that is setting an example to my kids, to my family, to the people that are going to be in my generation for years to come. And if you're worried about being rejected, and you might not even recognize it because your brain is going to protect you from recognizing it, because if you recognize it, then you are going to want to do something about it. And I know that you're going to want to do something about it because that's why you're here, because you're a capable, strong, outgoing go-getter. That's why you listen to this podcast. So if your brain is telling you right now, no, I'm not, it's lying to you. It's just trying to protect you. Dear brain, we love you. Yes, I am a go-getter. Yes, I do have big goals and dreams. And yes, I am capable of reaching them. So the moral of the story here is that we have to be willing to be rejected to show up online. We have to be okay with the negative comments that are going to come, because they might actually come, but they mean nothing about you. And this is why I teach my clients how to build unshakable confidence so that they don't get triggered when other people have opinions about them. Because when you are firm and certain and very, very in your power of who you are, nothing anyone says is going to shake you. And this is a practice. It takes time to build this up. And there is something that I teach inside of my program that most people don't teach in their programs that builds this resilience. And this is why you want to get your booty signed up and applied, because this is what's going to change it all for you. This is what's going to transform how you are showing up when people don't agree with you. And trust me, when you're in this world and you're in an online business, it might seem like there's so many other people around you that are in this, but look around you on your day-to-day basis. Most people aren't doing what you do. And you don't want to fall into the trap of believing what most people think that you're doing means. Because most people are going to be like, that girl's crazy. Most people are going to be like, I can't believe she's doing this thing. You might have people really close to you be like, oh, this is such an inconvenience. Trust me, it won't be after a while. They'll see how it transforms their lives too. You have to be willing to feel that rejection. And when you can feel that rejection, you become magnetic. People start saying yes to your online offers. You stop being afraid to show up. It's easier to be consistent. It doesn't feel like a hustle, and you don't get burnt out. And if it starts to feel like you're getting burned out, you have the tools to help you so that you don't get burned out. Okay? So that's the next thing, is you build that rejection to resilience. And then you got to learn to let go and have fun. The results will result themselves. We have no control over who is going to show up in our online presence, like and engage and do all of the things. You have to let go of that. You have to literally just trust that the right people are going to come. That's not to say that you can't look at your analytics or anything like that. I personally don't, and that's been super beneficial for me. I used to all the time, and I would kind of get attached to the results. Or if you are a person who likes to look at them from the small perspective of just like compounding one. So one of the things it's funny, I actually lied there just barely. I do look at analytics. I often look at how many people are following me on my podcast, how many people are following me on Instagram. I'll look at like how many people are listening or how many people view here and there. And I don't make meaning of that, other than I'm grateful that those people show up. But also, like, because one of my goals is to impact more people, I will build the belief by stepping up the ladder, right? So if you are going to look at the analytics, be like, okay, today I only had 100 views on this Instagram story. If there's 100, there's 101. And if there's 101, there's 102. And if there's 102, there's 103. And that will build and compound. And you have to trust that process. So you let go and then you have fun. And you ask yourself every single day, how can I make this easy? How can I make this fun? And you do what is easy and what is fun. That's my personal, and I recommend trying this on. If it doesn't work for you, you don't have to, but that is my personal success formula. How can I make this easy? How can I make it fun? And am I setting an intention before I show up, right? Am I in alignment? And all I have to do is set an intention to be in alignment, and then I am. Because I trust myself, because I've learned the tools to trust myself to show up in alignment. And that if at any time I'm out of alignment, I can sense it, I can feel it, and I just adjust. That doesn't mean that I'm going to feel amazing 24/7 or that I'm always going to be having fun in business. But when I'm not, I can adjust and I can come back home. The next thing I really want you to do is, this is number 4, is tap into your why. It's so much easier to show up online when you're tapping into your why. This is what I talked about at the very beginning with the energy. If you're thinking, what are people thinking of me? And then you show up online, I can sense that from a mile away. But if you're showing up online and you're like, I have the value and the wisdom. Like I know the things, I have the knowledge that will change someone's life, and I'm going to share that today online. And you tap into your why. That's my why. Like, my why is, this work changed my life, so I feel so compelled and honored that I get to teach other women what changed my life. And how cool is it that sets an example for my kids? Like, the more I talk about this stuff, the more comfortable I get with it, and the more it kind of just comes out in my natural conversations with my husband, with my kids, with my parenting. Parenting is actually on my to-do list of getting better at right now, and it is what it is, but I'm getting better at it every single day. That's parenting is, oh my heck. By the way, if you're a parent, you're amazing. There's no one set formula for any kid, because my oldest daughter, man, oh man, she's amazing. Our middle daughter, like, I tried so hard to parent her like our oldest daughter, and that did not work. And I wish I would have known, like, astrology and human design back then. All four, my husband, me, my oldest daughter, and my youngest daughter, we're all manifesting generators, but we're all very different when you kind of like dive into your chart, which, by the way, I talk about this all the time. Don't just follow the basic set of rules for being a Manny-Gen or a Sagittarius or whatever it is that you are, because there's more details in that. Don't let yourself use this as another set of rules. Anywho, we are all Manny-Gens, and also, like, my husband is a 2-4 profile. And my other daughter is a 2-4 profile, and my other daughter is a 3-6 or something like that, which, oh my gosh, trial and error. I used to scream, what the heck am I going to do with this girl? Anywho, moral, I went off on a tangent there. Hopefully you got some wisdom out of that. My coach reminded me the other day, because I was like, I always judge myself when I go on tangents, and she's like, actually, that's the universe speaking through you. So if ever you're on a tangent and you're like, sorry for rambling, maybe the universe was speaking through you. So there's a fun mindset shift. Okay, now I got to get back to where I was. I cannot remember where I was. Tapping into your why. And it's going to look different for every single person based on their astrology. And it's why I teach astrology and human design in my program Magnetic, because you're not meant to tap into your why the same way I do. You're meant to tap in however you were specifically designed, however you chose to come here as a human being. And so that's why I teach you how to really align with your soul and be able to take action that is aligned, that is inspired, versus just the hustle energy of I gotta hurry and post online so somebody will sign up. Nobody wants to sign up when you're just hustling to I gotta get somebody, I gotta get somebody. Let's figure out what your soul came here to do and how that energy flows, and tap into your why from that. And I promise you'll become magnetic to the clients that are meant to work with you. And trust me, if you have a dream and a goal to build an online business, there are literally people out there that are designed and meant to work with specifically, yes, specifically, just you. If you have a goal and a dream to help people, there are people designed to work with specifically you. I truly, with my whole heart and my whole soul, believe that. And I would love for you to believe that too, because when you do, you're going to show up a lot differently. Okay, and then the last thing I want to talk about is just trusting that what you have to say matters. Shift this belief, which if you don't believe this and you're wanting to, this is why you want to apply for Magnetic, because when you apply for Magnetic, you're going to learn that mindset formula that's going to help you shift this and help you start to believe it, and not make it something that you have to like force yourself to believe. Because something I see so often is people just repeating affirmations that they don't believe, and it actually makes them not believe the thing, because it's reinforcing the old belief when your subconscious mind is like, if you're like looking in the mirror and you're like, I'm a millionaire, and your brain's like, no you're not, no you're not, and that just like actually creates more neural pathways that you're not. So then you just stay in the same frequency of not being a millionaire. So this is why I teach my the words are not coming out. This is why I teach the magnetic mindset formula, because it's going to help you shift that and be able to learn the tools that are going to show you exactly how to bridge the gap from your subconscious and your conscious mind to make it so that you're not just using the willpower and burning out. So, Kate, that's what I have for you. Just a quick little recap. Number one, understanding that it is so natural for your brain to brain. Number two, building your rejection resilience. Number three, letting go and having fun. Number four, tapping into your why and doing that from soul source, not just what everyone else's why is. And number five, trust that what you have to say matters. Okay, that's what I have for you guys. Make sure you apply before the 25th, okay? If your soul is like, "Oh my gosh, this could be it." Just apply. Like what, like you have nothing to lose other than it could be it. So, come join, come apply. I love you. Have a beautiful day. Mwah. Oh, by the way, those links will all be in the show notes. Bye.